Hey everybody, Matt here today, and I want to share with you a project that I personally have done. I found it was pretty fun, pretty interesting, and it was a good personal challenge. Um, One of the first knives I made, well, I hesitate to say I made it, but it was this one right here. It's a little neck knife that I made. I made it out of a butter knife. And I hesitate to say I made it because I basically just sharpened the edge here. Only grinding I did was down here. But, I mean, that wasn't really necessary. I mean, you don't really have to grind it at all. One thing I would do is if, grind it a little bit right here, kind of down to a point, that helps the paracord wrap stay on a little better. That I did find, but you don't need a grinder for that. You can use a file. It's going to take a lot longer, but you can do it. And then the edge, I basically, to make that, let me grab my sharpening stones. Okay, here we go. Alright, what I do to sharpen my knives is I use 3 different stones. I use this one, it's a really coarse stone, and for this I used it and it kind of set the edge, it kind of got it started. That's step 1. And then I use this. It's a pretty fine stone. I mean, it's really fine. And that really helped, fine tune the edge. And then this here is just probably one of the smoothest stones, I've felt. And this really just, I mean, it just honed it. I mean, this thing just got it razor sharp. And that's basically what I did. You're gonna have to do a good bit of, with a butter knife, you might have to do a little bit more with this. Just kind of set the edge a little better, and then with, and then it gets easier from there. So that's just a good little project. I mean, it's a butter knife, but man, this is gonna be a good little bush knife. And it's got a paracord wrap, so you might be able to call it a survival knife. It's got some paracord on the necklace part here, so that would be very handy. And just for a little decoration, I put a little lanyard lanyard there at the end of it. But it's good to know how to make your own tools. Um, I like to be able to make my own stuff. I have this. I mean, this is a pocket knife that I got, and I love it to death. It's my little Emerson there, and it's awesome. But what if something were to happen to it? Maybe I lose it or something. But heaven forbid. But maybe I lose it. Maybe I don't think I'm not sure I'd be able to break it, but you never know what might happen. So it'd be good for me to be able to learn, be able to know how to make my own tool out of a butter knife, just in case something happened. Or, if you're not really all that concerned about, wanting to make your own tools in a situation, you can just make it for fun, recreational uses. But this here I mean, this is actually one of my favorite knives. I've made a couple here. I've made this one, a little neck knife too. Really small, but I mean, I like that one a good bit. And then there's this one. I made this out of an edger blade. It's not quite done yet, but it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing as this one. It's almost like a little clone. And it actually fits in the sheath here. So the sheath goes both ways. It fits this knife and this one. And I've made more. I just don't have them right here handy. But that's just a cool little project to do. I might, when I get another butter knife, kind of like this one, I might make one on and show you the video. But it's pretty simple. It's a really simple project. The thing about this butter knife that made it really unique was the handle didn't really have any designs on it. It was just a rectangular handle. That was kind of unique, and when I saw it, I almost thought it was a knife blank at the thrift store. I was like, whoa, there's a butter knife. It looks like a knife blank. But so I mean, I snapped it up. It was about 50 cents at a thrift store, and the only work I did with it on the grinder was right there to kind of put a little bit of a, kind of show you there, put a little bit of a V in there, kind of slope this down and kind of put it back up a little bit. It's still a little rough, but need to one of these days get the sander out and fix it. But I mean, that's all it needed to get done, and I'm pretty sure with a moderately large file you could get it in there and get that V shape. It'd take a little bit, but I mean it could be done with a file. That's about it. Enough of my rambling, and I'll see you next time on the next Sawgrass Brothers videos. And if you do happen to make one of these, send me a picture. The next butter knife I get, I'll try to do it just with a file instead of my bench grinder. So, I'll see you all next time.